Okay, so in this next video, I'm going to go over specifically touching on parts of one layer and then also like adding saturation to a layer, but adding it using specific tools on your toolbar. So a little bit different than the last video. Let's say, there was a specific picture that I was like, you know what? I know some of you might have like little markings on the back of like a picture, like maybe pencil mark, or some of you are pointing out like the uh, the fishing wire, right? That you are seeing through the image, and you maybe are wondering how to get rid of it. So you could use what we call the stamp tool. But in order to use the stamp tool, you want to be on, which is located on your toolbar. It's right here. It looks like a stamp. Okay, clone stamp tool. You want to be on that layer. So let's say layer 13 was the layer that I'm noticing. Maybe I wanted to get rid of this leaf. Not that I really want to get rid of it, but let's say I did in this image. And you might need to do this in multiple layers. First thing you're going to want to do is just turn off all the layers above that layer so you can see layer 13, right? Because you can't work like this. You can't really see what's going on there, but you can see what's going on when you turn everything off except for that layer. And then you go to your stamp tool. What it does is it actually stamps away space that maybe you don't want to be there. To make your brush bigger and smaller, if you look at your P on the keyboard, there's a bracket. Brackets to the right. There's a left one and a right one. The right one will make your paintbrush bigger, and the left one will make it smaller. So I'm going to start with it about this big, because that's about how big this leaf is, and I want to stamp away at this leaf. So by holding the Alt key down on a PC, if you're using your Mac, it would be the Option key. You have this like little axis point that comes up. What you want to do is Alt and then press down on your mouse, like click, and it will pick up whatever color you just Alt clicked, right? And then when you go to place your mouse on top of the leaf, it's going to erase and pick up whatever's happening. So see how when I go to now get rid of this leaf, it's actually picking up whatever's on that axis line. So whatever's on the axis line, it's picking up, and it's picking up tan because that's what's there. But let's say I moved it over here and I did Alt click on the leaf, you can see that it's not going to pick up the tan, it's picking up the leaf because that's where my axis line is. So you want to make sure that when you're working that you might Alt and click a few times so that it's in the right place when you go to stamp. So again, if there's like an area that you need to get rid of in a picture, more than likely it's going to be more than just one image that you're going to have to get rid of that in. So in my case, I mean, if I were going to get rid of that leaf in all the pictures, I'm really going to have to get rid of it in every single image. So you want to just be mindful of that. I would do this for like little small things if like you have a mark that you're seeing running through like 2 or 3 layers, or string or something like that. So that would be the stamp tool. The other tool I wanted to show you was this one, the sponge tool. Now, on your toolbar, it may not come up as sponge tool. It might say dodge, burn, or sponge. So it might look like that. So when you hover over it, it'll say the name of the tool, which this one is dodge. If I hold down, you can see it's burn and sponge. What dodge will do is it'll highlight specific areas of the picture without highlighting the overall image, and without highlighting all of the layers. So let's say, again, I just wanted to focus on this one layer here, and I wanted to just highlight or make some of these flowers lighter. I could just by using the dodge tool, and you can see that it's just making those flowers a little bit lighter for me, but without touching anything else and without touching any of the other layers besides this one. The burn tool, and more than likely if you're doing this, you're probably gonna have to do it to a few, right? The burn tool will darken. So right now you can see I keep going up here to exposure. Yours is probably going to be defaulted to 50. Mine for some reason is a lot lighter, but you can see that the burn tool will just make areas darker, just specific areas. So let's say I wanted to just darken some of these shadows underneath here. I can by using the burn tool. The last tool is the sponge tool. The sponge tool is great too because that will enhance color. So, well, it depends. If you want to go up to mode, you can saturate or desaturate, just like you can in the hue saturation adjustment. But this will just specifically do areas that you want to concentrate in. So if I wanted to make these flowers brighter, I could keep going over them with my saturation sponge tool, and it will make that flower a lot brighter, right? But if I wanted to desaturate something, I could go in and you can see that it will make it grayscale, right? But it's only affecting certain areas of that one specific layer. It's not affecting anything else. So again, if you're doing this, you might have to do it to other layers as well, or maybe just one, depending on maybe it's your last layer and you want to highlight the word that you're using more so, then you do it there. So those are some of the tools that I wanted to go over with you. I'm going to do one last tutorial, and it's going to be saving your file. But for now, if you're still continuing to work on your file, you're just going to want to save it as a Photoshop file. So if I do File, Save As, I'm going to just make sure I know where I'm saving it. So I've got this folder called Into the Woods because that's what where I'm keeping all my files. And I would name it, and then the format is already a Photoshop file. So for now, I would just save your file as a Photoshop file. And then when you're ready and it's complete, you can save it as a GIF, which I will show you in the next tutorial.